Your prophets are like the foxes in the desert. You have not gone up into the gaps, which gaps there would be breaches in the wall. Neither have you made up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the battle in the day of Jehovah. In other words, you're not even caring that there's things that are not being taken care of. You know, the commandments are a hedge around us. And as long as we stay in that hedge, then we're good, we're safe. We have nothing whatsoever to worry about because Jehovah sticks to his word. Well, these people have not. They haven't, stood up saying, hey, look, this is going wrong. This should not be going on. We need to fix this. These prophets have not done that. They have not straightened these people out. They have allowed them to just go their own way. This is basically, I guess, the time like it was in the book of Judges, where every man seemed to do what was right in his own eyes. That's, history is repeating itself. Sorry, I've been talking a lot this morning. And yes, I know coffee's a diuretic, and I should really be drinking water, but, that's another long story. So anyway, let's get back to the word here. So these prophets they're not doing their job. Verse 6, they have seen vanity and lying divination, saying Jehovah says, when Jehovah has not sent them, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. Have you not seen a vain vision? Have you not spoken a lying divination? Whereas you say, Jehovah says it, but, he hasn't said it. Okay. Verse 8, therefore, this says the Master Jehovah, because you have spoken vanity and have seen lies, therefore, behold, I am against you, says the Master Jehovah. And my hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel. Neither shall they enter into the land of Israel, and you shall know that I am the Master Jehovah. Because they have seduced my people, saying peace, and there was no peace, and no one built up a wall, and and there was no peace, and one built up a wall, and lo, another daubed it with untempered mortar. Say unto them which daub it with untempered mortar, that it shall fall. There shall be an overflowing shower. O great hailstones shall fall, and a stormy wind shall rend it. Lo, when the wall is fallen, shall it not be said unto you, where is the daubing wherewith you daubed it? Therefore, thus says the Master Jehovah, I will even rend it with a stormy wind in my fury, and there shall be an overflowing shower in my anger, and great hailstones in my fury to consume it. So will I break down the wall that you have daubed with untempered mortar, and bring it down to the ground, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered. It shall fall, and you shall be consumed in the midst thereof, and you shall know that I am Jehovah. Thus will I accomplish my wrath upon the wall, and upon them that have daubed it with untempered mortar, and will say unto you, the wall is no more, neither they that daubed it. To wit, the prophets of Israel, which prophesy concerning Jerusalem, and which see visions of peace for her, and there is no peace, says the Master Jehovah. These people are self-proclaimed prophets. They will tell you that, the Lord showed them this, the Lord showed them that. They're lying. And why are they lying? While they think they're doing right? Because they've had a lying spirit come to them and tell them these things. And then because our minds were just, a wonderfully created thing back in the day, we're able to take that idea and run with it. Is it a good thing? It depends. But you see these people, these prophets, that go out. You can always tell. It may take a while for you to get to the point where, after them talking for a few minutes, you're like, this guy ain't nothing. But our measuring rod for this is the Bible. If it contradicts the Bible, and I don't mean your church doctrine, I mean the Bible. If it contradicts the Bible, then they're false. They're false prophets. What they say means nothing. Anyone can look at data and go, okay, this is going to happen. But when it comes to it, prayer can change the world. And our issue is trying to get people to realize the lies that are going on, because they're abounding so much right now that it's insane. It's absolutely insane. But it said in there that you haven't went up to the gaps in the wall, to the breaches, the places where the wall's fallen down, and you haven't went and fixed it. But when you do, and this is for the false prophets, when you do, you don't do it correctly. You do not do it the way that it was supposed to be done, as per Jehovah. These people are really lazy, and they're just liars. They say they do something, but it said that whenever it's built, because you've done so just terrible at the job that you were supposed to be doing, I'm going to tear all that down, and it'll be seen what the foundation is. If it's a good foundation and the job is done correctly, then it'll stand up to everything that it has to. But if it hasn't been done correctly, then it will be shown that it was not up to standard, I guess. And Jehovah's standards are written down for us, but these prophets, they don't care at all. They want to continue to do things their way, because they get the recognition, and they get all the prestige from going in front of people and telling them verses from the Bible. But they'll take those verses and they will actually change them and put their own thoughts into that. And it may just be like a couple extra added words, but that's not what the Lord said. The Lord said, what they said minus 4 words. But those 4 words add lies to truth, which is what the devil does. The devil tries to get you to follow something other than what Jehovah said. So we have shepherds, we have watchmen, and we have prophets that we've talked about. Now, all 3 of these, jobs or roles are what the 144,000 are going to do. The 144,000 will stand in those gaps in the wall where people have done away with Jehovah's word and his commandments for us that keep us safe. They will actually go correct, and they will be the ones that are fighting anything that's coming in, because that's what it's talking about. You haven't stood in the gap. You have not taken responsibility and done what you're supposed to do. It's just like the shepherds. you know, if I have 200 sheep out here, and I hire someone because I'm going to be gone for 2 months to look after my sheep. Well, I come back and half my sheep are gone. And I go to the guy like, "Hey man, what's going on? Where's all my sheep?" And he says, "Oh, well, it was rainy, and there was a pack of wolves that came through, and they killed half the flock." Well, what happened? Were there too many for you to fight off, or what? Well, no, I seen them, running in, and I ran away because I was scared. You were getting paid to take care of them, but you didn't take care of them. Bad shepherd. Very, very bad shepherd. And this is why Jehovah said, "I will put shepherds over you that will feed you and that will take care of you." Our job in the Garden of Eden was to guard it and to tend it and take care of it and just be there for it. That was our job. And the Hebrew word is shamar. And that aspect is what shepherds do. They guard. Well, the watchmen are the ones saying, "Hey, they're kind of shepherds, because they're like, hey, we have to do this. We have to get back to what the Lord told us, what His truth is. We have to get back to that." But everyone's like, "Oh, well, no, I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. I don't think that's the way it was supposed to be worded." It's written down. Either you have faith in that book to get you to the right direction, or you don't. If you don't, then take it and go put it on a counter, because it's doing you no good to read it. And the prophets we just read, they're not standing in defense of the flock that they were to help. So it's all about helping, guarding, and taking care of. And these prophets were the ones that were sent to let's say Nineveh, Jonah's example. The Lord told him, "Hey, look, go to Nineveh, tell them that I'm going to destroy the place. Just tell them, and we'll see how it goes." And Jonah already knew that the Lord's full of mercy. He already knew that, because he'd even said, "What, I'm going to go and you're not going to kill them. You're not going to destroy them. You're going to have mercy on them. So why am I going?" Because the Lord asked you to. He said, "Go." And either you're going to be in service to Him, or you're not. And Jonah tried not to be. Jonah tried to go the other way. He tried to take a boat, and a storm rose so bad that everyone that was on the boat was like so frightened. And these people were like sailors and fishermen. They've dealt with storms so much, but this one made them really, really afraid. And so they rolled the dice and figured out it was Jonah. And Jonah said, "Just throw me over. Once you do that, the storm will stop and it'll be fine." And I said, "Okay." Threw him overboard. Sure enough, the storm stopped. And then the Lord had a really big fish come and swallow him. So don't be a Jonah. If the Lord wants you to do something, just go do it. And trust that He is in complete control. Because He's always been in control. Even in the parts of your life where you thought were just terribly ran and that you just did everything, He was always there. He's always had His hand on the situation. If you're alive today after being through such terrible circumstances, because the Lord's had his hand on you. And he has a job for you. And it's going to glorify him, absolutely. So please, just look at your life and see what's going on. Because I guarantee you will see amazing things. So, now to the crux of this entire teaching. So, the 144,000. As I said, if you mention 144,000, everyone's like, oh yeah, I know about that. And you get some weird doctrines taught from these, I don't want to say cults, but it's pretty much what it is. So, these 144,000, I'm going to read to you what the Bible says, and I will explain as we go along. Okay, so this is Revelation 7. And, some of these titles for these sections I like, but then there's others I'm just like, really? Do you not understand it? Is that why you're putting that there? Because you just don't understand. And more than likely, that's exactly the reason why they label it like they do. But we're going to start in chapter 7. And we'll go from 1 to 8. Okay. Now, the title for this one was 144,000 Jews. Now, remember, these titles of these sections are not biblical at all. They are supposed to kind of give you an idea of what's coming. Well, the 144,000 Jews do not exist anywhere in the Bible. Nowhere. And they say that it's just like the Jews that are going to be saved during the tribulation. These are the ones that are going to come to faith in Jesus. No. Not at all. Because at this point, this is after the 6th seal. And these people are not going to be Jews. You have to remember that Jews are from the tribe of Judah. And if you have, someone from the tribe of Gad, then they're not a Jew. They're from the tribe of Gad. Or Aser, or Naphtali, or Manasseh, or Simeon, or Levi, or Issachar, or Zebulun, or Joseph, or Benjamin, or any of these tribes. Those are not Jews. Jews come from the tribe of Judah, where we get the name Judah. Are you seeing the correlation here? So, now to start reading. After these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, nor the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. And so it says here that the children would be the sons, which would be Bane in Hebrew. And I don't know if that denotes men or women or what. But seeing how men were put in charge of the household, I would assume that it would be. But that's just my thought. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Judah, the Jews were sealed 12,000. That automatically disqualifies their heading for this section. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Aser were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali were still 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were still 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were still 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were still 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were still 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun were still 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were still 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were still 12,000. There's 12,000 from each tribe that are sealed. There's 12 tribes. 12 times 12 is 144. So 144,000. These people are really, there's something completely different than you've ever met. So let's go over here to chapter 14. And this goes more into who the 144,000 are. So chapter 14, we're going to go from 1 to verse 5. And I looked, and lo, a Lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his Father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps. And they sang as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts, and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, being the firstfruits unto God and to the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of Elohim. So fault means sin. They are without sin before the throne. Now, I've heard so many weird, crazy ideas about who these people are. And, this entire book is a spiritually based book. It's completely a spiritually based book. If you think that there's literally going to be like a 10-headed dragon coming up out of the sea, then you probably need to quit reading so many books. Because this is not a physical book. Some parts of it will manifest in the physical realm, but this is a spiritual book. Absolutely. So, before I get into that, I'm going to end this video because I'm getting close to an hour now, and I don't know how it's going to end up getting, divided up. So I'm going to take a break and come back, and I will finish the rest of it. Shalom.